How we doing? I'm back again now to show you how to refill your transmission with the Castrol um, Castrol Z1 transmission fluid. Uh, and in this particular model, which I don't know exactly each individual model, but I know this one for sure. It takes 2.8 liters or quarts, of course. That's what these come in, so they're going to take about 2.8 quarts for your transmission. And for this, you're going to need, of course, your transmission fluid, and you are going to need a funnel to reach far enough down, because it's kind of down in there, so it's kind of going to be a pain in the butt to do that. So I will get this funnel set up, and I will show you how to refill it and how to check it. Okay, now that I have put my funnel in the hole where the transmission fluid goes, I also remind you to make sure your funnel is clean and that it is rinsed out before adding the transmission fluid, due to the fact that it could compromise what the transmission fluid is actually supposed to do with other contaminants in it, so it won't be able to productively be able to do what it's designed to do. Also, if you don't have a long enough funnel, you could always just buy like one of those cheap 60-cent to $1 funnels, and you could add just a small piece of 5/8 inch hose, or smaller if it's available. Vacuum hose, I'm sure, works just as good, and just tape it underneath just tape it to the funnel. Make sure you again run stuff through there to get any debris or whatever out of there. So we're going to go ahead and start adding the transmission fluid. Okay, and again, this calls for 2.8, so we're going to go ahead and start dumping that in there. Okay, so there's 1 quart down, about 1 4/5 left to go. And as far as I know, due to the fact I know of a couple mechanics or people that sell this stuff for a regular basis, this Castrol will indeed work as long as it is the Z1 trans fluid. Okay, now we have 2 quarts in there. Go ahead and grab the 3rd bottle. And I always feel like it's necessary to have 4. I know it only calls for 2.8, just about 3 quarts. But it is nice to have an extra bottle on hand, to just keep in your car or whatever, along with your sockets or whatever else you carry in the back in the trunk, along with extra oil. So that way it's convenient if you have any roadside trouble, or if you just really don't have the time to run to the store and you happen to have an extra quart on hand. That also will keep you from having to make that extra trip that you don't need to make. Okay, and unfortunately these are kind of a pain in the butt because they don't have the side here on the side of the container. It doesn't have a spot where you can see where it's at, so we'll just kind of have to eyeball it. I'd say just above a quarter is just fine. Okay, now that we've added the trans fluid, we'll go ahead and put our dipstick back in, take out our funnel. And I will do that, and I'll be back with you in just a second. Okay, now we're going to go ahead and put our dipstick back in. This just goes right back in the same hole. Okay, Now we got that in there. We're going to go ahead and fire this thing up. Let it get back to engine temp. We'll let it run for about 30 seconds or so, maybe to a minute, and we will go ahead and check that bad boy out again. Make sure that we have all the necessary fluid in, and of course, add as needed. So if your dipstick reads that it does not have enough fluid in there, go ahead and take your quart that you just dumped in with the leftover extras. Go ahead and fill that up in between the lines, or where it says that it's full. Now, if you're one of those guys, which I'm probably going to suggest to go ahead, I'm going to do the same thing. Go ahead and if you want to flush this whole system out, go ahead and run it through here through a week. And then, of course, you go ahead and purchase 3 more and flush out the system again. I don't know if it's needed or not, but I've seen a lot of people are doing that. So I'm going to go ahead and give it a try. And, well, that's exactly how you refill your transmission with fluid. And in the last video you saw how it was drained. So again, comment, rate, and subscribe, and have a good day.